Hello friends, in this session we are going to discuss about how to implement LRU cache. It is one of the most famous questions asked in all major companies. Before understanding the problem statement, let's discuss what is LRU cache. LRU means least recently used. LRU cache means a cache with least recently used eviction strategy. It organizes elements in the order of usage, allows to quickly identify which element has not been used for the longest amount of the time. Let's understand better. You have a web application which is serving customers. When customer makes any request, it returns response by fetching either from database or making call to another service. This model response times are higher as you are making calls directly to persisting layer or calling other services, which introduces latencies. In order to improve the performance, we will introduce caching layer here. We can access data faster from cache compared to either database or another web services. Now the request will be served directly from the cache if the response is available within the cache. In such cases, application never fetch data from either persistence layer or another microservices. It will directly consume data from the cache and returns the response back to the client. The application fetches data from either DB or another service if it is not available in the cache. Just before returning the response, the application also stores this response data into the cache so that it can serve later requests, further requests. Remember one thing, the caches are smaller in size. You cannot store all the data at a time to serve all the requests. If we cannot fit everything into the cache, then how can cache decide which data to be stored at the given point of time? This is where eviction policy will help cache. And this cache is using LRU eviction policy. What is LRU eviction? Let's take an example. Let's say that our cache is capable enough to store 3 elements at a time. This is just for an example. In reality, caches will be in couple of GBs in size. Assume that its max capacity is 3 elements only. This cache maintains data in the order based on usage. I mean, the cache maintains the data in the order based on its recent access. The very recently accessed data will be the first element and the next access data will be in the second position and so on. Let's say that we are making our first request called request A. Since it is our first request, request A data will not be available in the cache. So it will be fetched from the DB and returned back to the customer as response A. Before returning the data, it will be stored into the cache here as shown here. Now the client is making another request called request B. Since request B data is not available in the cache when we make the request, it will be fetched from the DB and returns back to the client as response B. Also, just before returning the response, it will be stored into the cache. Since request B data is accessed recently, very recently, it must be prioritized. It must be first in the order in the cache. If you notice here, request B data is in the first position and request A is moved to the second position. This is most recently accessed one. Now the client is making another call called request A. Since the request A data is already available in the cache, it will be returned back to the client immediately. Since request A data is accessed recently, again it will be placed at first position in the cache and data B position will be adjusted accordingly. Now the client is making another call called request C. Again the data is not present in the cache when we make the request, so it will be fetched from the database and returned back to the client and the same data will be stored into the cache. The cache data also will be readjusted as data C became most recently accessed data, and data A and B will also be adjusted their positions accordingly. Now the client is making another call called request D. This is also fetched from the database and returns back to the client as response D. Before returning back to the client, the data D must be stored in the cache. If you notice here, in the previous request, the cache is already full. Its capacity is already reached 3. It cannot store data beyond its capacity. So what to do now? This is when the cache evict an element to accommodate latest data. It chooses least recently used element to evict from the cache. In our case, data B is least recently used, so it will evict data B to accommodate data D. Now data D became most recently used data. Rest of the element positions are adjusted as shown here. This process will continue. This is called LRU eviction strategy, least recently used eviction policy, and this cache is called LRU cache. Now we will go back to our problem statement. We need to design a data structure which follows the constraints of least recently used cache. Create a class with constructor which takes input as cache capacity. Provide a method called get which takes input as key and returns the value. Both key and values are integer types here. Provide another method called put which takes inputs as key and value integer types. It should update the value of the key if the key already exists in the cache. Otherwise, add the key value pair to the cache. If the number of keys exceeds the capacity of the cache in this operation, then evict the least recently used key value pair I mean. The expectation is both get and put methods must provide constant time, big O of 1 time complexity. Let's design. We need to choose right data structure to support constant time operations. What do you think? What data structure makes sense in this case? We have already got a clue during our LRU cache introduction session that we need to order elements based on its access time so that we can always evict the last element in the order. I will directly jump into the required data structure without any further delay. What about hash map? When we think about big O of 1 or constant time lookup, obviously we can choose hash map. Hash map provides constant time insertion and lookup. But hash map does not have a mechanism to tracking which entry has been queried recently and which is not. This tracking is mandatory to evict an element based on LRU. So we will choose another data structure. We will take doubly linked list. Since we have to track elements which are recently accessed, then it is a good idea that the most recently accessed one will be placed as head. The next recently accessed one will be placed as second node and so on. With this, the tail always points to the least recently accessed element. If we have to evict any element, then it is always the tail node by default. The main reason to choose doubly linked list is it takes constant time or big O of 1 to perform insertion, deletion and update if we know the address of the node. So inserting a node at the head or deleting a node at the tail or updating a node in the middle of the linked list is always a constant time. But the lookup operation is linear with this linked list. It is big O of n in worst cases. So we cannot choose doubly linked list for our use case. In order to achieve LRU cache constraint, we will use both data structures together. So in our implementation of LRU cache, we will have both hash map and doubly linked list together. Hash map will hold the keys and values as address of the nodes of the doubly linked list, and doubly linked list node will hold both key value pair, or you can just store values alone. Either way is fine. As we have to keep track of least recently used entries, we will remove elements from the bottom or tail of the linked list and add new elements only on the start of the linked list. I mean, it must be a head node. Whenever any element is accessed, it must be moved to the top. I mean, the access node must be moved as head, so that the recently used entries will be on the top and least used element will be at the bottom. It is easy to identify and evict the element when the cache is full. Now let's write the code for LRU cache. Create a node class which represents linked list node. Declare variables int key, int value which stores key value pair, node reference for previous node, node reference for next node. A constructor takes key and value. Now inside the LRU cache class, let's have references to head and tail nodes. Declare a map to keep track of linked list nodes with keys. A variable to keep track of capacity. Declare a constructor. It takes capacity as input. Initiate dummy head nodes for easy access and simplify coding. Both key values are -1. Similarly, tail as well. Head.next is pointing to tail. Tail.previous is pointing to head. We will initialize cache map. Now create a get function. It takes integer key as an input and returns integer value. Return -1 if the key does not exist. If not, cache map dot contains key, then return -1. Since the element is accessed, move it to the front. I mean, this element became most recently accessed, move it to the front. So we will declare a method later, but I'll just draft it here. Move to front, which takes node as a reference. Cache map dot get key, comma, another flag. This function takes a boolean value to tell that if the element is already existing one or new one, because we want to reuse move to front function in other places also. This boolean will help us in future. Finally, return the value. Now create move to front function, which is private function. Check is existing node flag. If it is true, then detach the node from the existing position first. Take a temp, replace next node previous value, node.next.previous equal to previous temp node. Similarly, replace previous node next reference with next node value, next equal to node.next. Now add the node in the front. Now create a put function. Replace the value if key already exists in the cache. Since we access the element, move it to the front. Since it is existing node, the flag became true. Now check the capacity before adding any new element. If cache reaches its capacity limits already, then evict the least recently used element. We will draft a method here. We will create it a little later. We will pass tail node. If capacity is available, then create a node and add it to the both map and linked list. We'll reuse move to function, and this is a new node, so I'm sending false. Now create evict key function. I'll copy this, which is private function. Remove the tile node. Declare a temp node to perform removal operation. Delete the element from the map. We have done with coding. I have already created a main method to save some time. I will uncomment this code first. Here I have created an object to the class LRUCache, making some calls to put and get methods so that we can check the behavior. Let's run, hoping for no runtime errors. The result is as expected. This is about LRUCache. Hope you like it. Thanks for watching, and please do like and subscribe to the channel if you are not already. Thank you.